We want you to be a part of the Delmarva Life studio audience. Trust me, you will have fun. If you'd like to book your seat, just visit delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. It's right there on the right side of the page. You'll see it under the ticket tab under For Our Audience. Or you just give us a call, 443-880-9116. Well, here on Delmarva, many people spend their days bagging that deer, bagging that turkey, whatever they're hunting. Now, when they get their kill, it's not unusual to see pictures of it on social media or even on Outdoors Delmarva. It's something to be proud of, right? Well, there's one woman who was especially proud when she shot and killed a mountain lion, a 175-pound mountain lion, so she posted the pic on the internet. But she quickly learned that not everyone was happy for her.
My first hunting experience was when I was 3 years old.
From the time she was a little girl, Charissa Argus loved to hunt with her father.
It's always been quality time for us. It's always been a time when we got to get away.
In February of 2013, Charissa hunted and shot a mountain lion.
That is a massive lion.
A 175-pound male.
He's done. Done?
Her kill was posted on the internet.
Very proud of what I had accomplished that day.
But 1 year later, it came back to bite her.
My picture had been placed on an animal rights activist page.
And it shot through cyberspace. Anti-hunting organizations picked it up and reposted it. The huntress was in the crosshairs.
They were calling me horrible names. They were saying they wanted to kill me. They wanted to see me dead. They called me fat. They called me ugly. They called me the B word. They called me the C word. There really wasn't anything that they weren't willing to call me and to say.
Charissa showed one comment that reads, "The only answer is to take out these psychopaths." Another calls for an eye for an eye.
You know, it was definitely cyberbullying. These were not just threats, but I would say they were terroristic threats.
It's unfortunate. Again,
Mike Porras is a wildlife ranger.
Absolutely, it's legal. It's part of wildlife management.
Porras says Charissa is not the first female hunter to be attacked on the internet.
I mean, there are Facebook pages dedicated just to harassing a woman that has posed with her harvest.
I had no idea that this type of behavior was going on.
Charissa says Sylvia Wadwa, a former CNBC reporter based in Germany, claims to have started the firestorm. In a Facebook message to Charissa, she wrote that she doesn't agree with trophy killing. She went on to say, "But I do not and will not ever condone or encourage insults, threats, or death wishes." Still, Charissa says the internet comments continue, and she vows not to be intimidated.
If I don't stand up for myself and I don't take a position on what I feel passionate about, how can I expect my children to stand up if this happens to them?
Charissa plans to keep hunting.
It was an extreme hunt, and it was well worth it.
And she'll take aim at other women, encouraging them to try it.
Now, Charissa says those who were verbally attacking her even went so far as to post her full name, her address, and directions to her house. She did, however, get them to remove the address in the picture. Charissa's story, yet another example of how the internet really can be dangerous. We cannot stress enough. You've got to be so careful when it comes to sharing anything about yourself. Charissa was obviously a victim of cyberbullying, but it's not just cyberbullying you have to worry about. We have done story after story on the show about cyber attacks and how criminals are getting very creative when it comes to getting their hands on your money. But what if the crooks found a way to gain access to information about your health, your habits, maybe even your mood? Well, it might soon happen. And joining us today to tell us how is security expert Kevin Haley. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Kevin, how is this even possible?
Well, we're putting everything about us on the internet. Our homes are filling up and our bodies are filling up with devices that do things for us, record it, send it off to a website, and then bring it back to our PC or our phone. And if you put a device and connect it to the internet, then it's potentially going to be hacked.
So do I understand correctly that you're thinking things like baby monitors and such could be the next new frontier for the bad guys?
Indeed. In fact, baby monitors already been hacked. There was an infamous case in 2013 where parents walked into the room where the camera had been taken control of by a hacker.
Oh my.
So it's happening now.
So this is all kinds of stuff, anything from smart TVs to medical equipment too?
Yeah, well, we're connecting everything to the internet. There's a lot of benefit to that. We're not going to go back, but it also inherently brings some risk with it.
So do you think there's any particular group of people that's more at risk?
Well, when we looked in the Internet Security Report this year at companies that were being targeted for attack, these breaches we've heard so much about, what we wanted to understand was not only who was being targeted, and in short, that's everyone, but were there particular people in an organization that were more at risk? And it turns out that there are, that personal or executive assistants are at greater odds of being attacked than anybody else in an organization.
Really?
They may not be the ultimate target of the attack, but they're a way for the attacker to get into the organization and worm their way around to where they want to be.
How about that? All right, Kevin, you already said it. We're not going to go back. So is there anything that we can do to protect ourselves?
Well, some of the things we need to do, of course, is have good passwords, make sure we're not using the same password on every website or application. That makes it easy for the bad guys. Need to make sure that our software is always up to date on our PCs and our mobile phones. And we need to have good security software to help protect us, PCs and phones.
Kevin, I got to tell you, I'm bad about that whole password thing right there. Now, 550 million identities exposed last year. We've got new technology. We've got new progress. Is there anything that we can do to get ahead of the bad guys and put a dent in that number?
Yeah, well, you know, the bad guys have access to the new technology as well. They're very patient. They're going to take a lot of time. They're going to probe for any weaknesses they can. They're stepping up their game. We need to step up our game. As businesses, we really need to identify what is the critical information we have, what is it attackers would want to steal, and we need to put processes, people, and security in place to keep it protected.
Going to have to be vigilant. Security expert Kevin Haley, thank you so much for your information this afternoon. Now, if you'd like to know more about what Kevin just had to say, all you have to do is go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. So once your personal information is protected, you should be able to get a good night's rest, right? Or can you? You spend about a third of your life on one of these things. You want to make sure that the time is spent in restorative slumber. But with so many choices, which one's right for you? We're going to simplify the process of shopping for a new mattress. We're also going to simplify the process of landing a job, from what to wear to where to look to how you can start making some money. Delmarva Life will be right back.